Hello, Love Muffin. Okay, you may have knit a sweater, maybe even a poncho, but have you ever made, oh, drum roll please, a swoncho? Swoncho is the perfect combination of both. If a cozy sweater and a comfy poncho fell in love and had a baby, it would be this perfect swoncho, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. This swoncho pattern is called Königssee, and it was designed for you by Vanselous. She was inspired by the gorgeous Königssee Lake, which is nestled among the Alps in Bavaria, and it is an extraordinary shade of aqua green. She said if you visit on a sunny day, the reflection of the sky and the mountains in the water is absolutely magnificent, and they take you out in a boat. Everything is quiet and calm, and they blow this horn and it echoes, and she said it is absolutely breathtaking. It's one of the most amazing experiences. Inspired by all those beautiful greens and blues, this swoncho is a gradient that is worked from the top down. It's got a really cozy cabled collar with a little split in it. It has a rounded split hem for nice easy wearing, and it has really stunning cables that run up and down the arms. The cool thing about this pattern is you can actually make it your own. You can adjust the length of the sleeves to get them just perfect, and you can even leave them off if you prefer and just have a poncho. And it really shouldn't take too long to knit. It actually uses sport weight yarn held double. So it goes pretty quickly, and it also helps you create this really pretty, subtle, marled effect. If you would love to download this pattern, it's available at expressionfiberarts.com. And as always, we're gonna put the link in the description box for you. If you are new, go ahead and sign up for email updates when you're on the site, because we do new knit or crochet patterns weekly, and most are free for a limited time. So when you sign up, I will keep you in the loop so you can get those downloaded for free. Oh, and when you go to the site to download the pattern, it does include the written instructions for you, as well as charts for the cables. So I've got some tips for you today that I think are gonna really help you be successful when making this pattern. You'll need 5 colors of sport weight yarn to make this, and we opted for our hand-dyed twisted tweed sport weight yarn. I really love this yarn for this project. It's got little flecky tweedy bits all throughout, which makes it so cozy and just perfect for this type of garment. One of the cool things about this pattern is you actually do marling throughout the entire thing. And marling is super simple. It just means you're holding 2 strands of yarn together throughout the project. I am going to do a quick demo for you today, and you can also check out our video on marling if you would like more information. It's really simple to marl yarns. You're just going to hold 2 strands together and knit your pattern as written, just like you were holding 1 strand of yarn. Just pretend it's 1 strand. And I am using thicker yarn and bigger needles today just to make it a little bit easier for you to see. And I'm using high contrasting colors also to make it easier for you. But in the pattern you use colors that are really similar, and they blend really nicely. So the benefit of marling is that you can create some really gorgeous, subtle color shifts just by using solid colors. It's a really fun technique. When you do want to go ahead and change colors to make your life a little easier, what we recommend is, let's say on this next row you want to drop the pink and only work with the white and blue. Just go ahead and continue to hold the pink and white and add in the blue. Then work 3, 4, or 5 stitches with all 3 strands together. You're not going to notice this in the final product, and it's just going to make it a little easier so you don't have to tie a bunch of knots. When you've worked several stitches, go ahead and drop the color that you no longer need. We'll say the pink. And now you're good to go to work this section with your blue and white. And then when you're finished with that color, so you're finished with the pink, you can just give that a snip and then weave in your ends on the back when you're finished. Another really cool thing about this pattern is you don't actually have to worry about running out of yarn, because since you are marling the colors and they're blended anyways, you can just stop when you run out of one color and pick up the next. It's really not that big of a deal. This pattern does include some easy 2x2 and 4x4 cables, and if you would love to learn how to save oodles and boodles of time when you are cabling, definitely check out our video on how to cable without a cable needle. You're going to love it. Also, this pattern includes German short rows for shaping. If you have not tried these, you are in for a treat because it is one of my favorite knitting techniques. I absolutely fell in love with it when I first learned about it. And yes, we do have a couple videos on that technique for you already. And so we will link in the description to those so you can check that out. Also, I really recommend that you wet block your Swoncho for the best shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that today. To block our Swoncho, I'm gonna be using some blocking pins as well as some blocking mats. And we will link below to these supplies if you need some. The first step is to go ahead and get our mats all laid out and put together. Normally when you wet block items, you're gonna want to soak your item in lukewarm water and even add a little bit of wool wash if you like, and then press out the excess moisture with a towel, get it as dry as you can, and then you proceed to wet block. But since I actually have to use this Swoncho for more of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and do mine dry. You're gonna begin at the neck area, and we wanna create a nice drop for this front neckline. So just place some pins here in the center. I really like these pins that have the multiple prongs because it just makes the whole process a little bit faster. Next, you're gonna wanna go up here to the cast on edge, and you want to flare this edge out a little bit because it's gonna actually fold over, and you want it to lay nicely once it does fold over. So just go ahead and pin that out, getting a nice even edge and giving that a little bit of a flare. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is get the length correct. Once you know the length that you want your Swoncho to be, go ahead and mark that out by pinning the bottom hem in the center. Next, you want to determine the width that you want your Swoncho to be. Once you have that, go ahead and put pins right where the sleeves meet the body of the Swoncho. Next, you want to determine the width of the hem. Once you know where you'd like that, go ahead and place your pins on each side there. At this point, since yours is going to be wet, it may be kind of shifty, so you want to press everything out and make sure the Swoncho is looking gorgeous according to the measurements that you've just laid out with your pins. It is okay to stretch a little in width or length, but you don't want to overstretch your Swoncho. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the sweater width for the shoulders. So wherever you like those, go ahead and pop some little pins right there. Nice. I'm gonna put a few more pins just to create a nice smooth line there. And on this side as well. One more. The sleeves are gonna appear to be kind of crazy long, but you don't actually even have to block those, just leave them as they are, because since they have that beautiful ribbing and cabling, when you put them on, they're gonna shrink to be the correct length on your arm. Once you're finished pinning everything out, you're just gonna go ahead and let your Swoncho air dry. Once you're finished, you're just gonna remove your pins and your perfect Swoncho is ready to wear. Thank you so much for joining me, my beautiful friend. I cannot wait to see your version of this Swoncho. I'm so excited. I think you're gonna love it. Have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna see you next week with another new pattern. Bye-bye. I love you. I love you. Hugs. Ooh, big hugs. Yes.